I've touched down on this before, but I think the cycle of elemental spirits is an underrated set of combo extenders. But the story doesn't stop with just these four monsters. It goes way deeper. The original set is composed of Aqua Spirit, Garuda the Wind Spirit, Spirit of Flames, and the Rock Spirit. Each one can special summon itself from hand by banishing a monster of the same attribute from the graveyard. Then, each elemental spirit has an additional utility effect, which could conceivably be useful. Aqua and Garuda can both change the battle position of an opponent's monster, but are hamstrung by only being active during the opponent's standby and end phase respectively. Spirit of Flames and the Rock Spirit both have an attack boosting effect, where Spirit of Flames gains 300 attack during the player's battle phase, while the Rock Spirit gains 300 attack during the opponent's battle phase. This gives Spirit of Flames a bit more utility since it can be used to push damage, but the Rock Spirit is not as useful since it has the reactive effect. These effects do not come up very often, since most of the time these cards are used for combo extension, meaning that they won't stick around on the field for very long. The story actually goes deeper than the original set of spirits, though. The two cards which precede the four elemental spirits in the Labyrinth of Nightmares set are Dark Necrofear and Soul of Purity and Light, which function somewhat similar, but with the requirement of banishing more than one monster. These, of course, are not true members of the attribute spirits, but their proximity is interesting to note. The cycle was properly completed with the introduction of Diana the Light Spirit and Luna the Dark Spirit in Soul Fusion, then Chaos Impact respectively. These monsters share the same summoning condition by banishing a monster of their attribute from the grave, but have new utility effects. Diana has the effect to gain 1000 life points during the opponent's end phase, and Luna has the effect to inflict 500 points of damage to the opponent during the controller's standby phase. Both of these effects are slow, and for the record, I do not think that Diana and Luna are better than Collapse Serpent and Wyvern Buster, but since those cards are off attribute and currently limited, I would still say that they are in the realm of consideration. I really like how after a decade and a half, the full elemental cycle was completed, but there was also a set of retrains or counterparts made in between. Finrare, Gigantus, Inferno, and Sylphid have similar summoning conditions as the elemental spirits by banishing a monster of their same attribute from grave, but theoretically have more useful effects. Finrare has a Yatagarasu effect to prevent the opponent from drawing, but only after destroying a monster by battle. This is a pretty strong effect, so Finrare actually has the cost of banishing 2 water monsters from the grave, which may disqualify this card from membership within the cycle. Gigantus has a heavy storm effect when it is destroyed by battle, and has notably high attack points. Inferno has the effect of burning for 1500 points of damage after it destroys a monster by battle. As a quick side note, I like how the Fire Spirit retrain can still push damage. Sylphid discards a random card from the opponent's hand when it is destroyed as a result of battle. Again, these effects are only a marginal benefit unless they are completely built around, like gimmicky Finrar lock decks. Although, there is still the requirement of having 2 water attribute monsters in the graveyard. Speaking of which, I have also seen Gigastone Omega featured in this card series, but it again has the requirement of banishing 2 earth monsters from the grave. This card is an upgraded Gigantus with higher level and defense points, plus it has an upgraded spell and trap destruction effect. This time a Harpy Feather Duster instead of Gigantus' heavy storm effect. Still on the subject of rock monsters, there is also Mega Rock Dragon, which has the requirement of banishing a rock from grave, and has attack and defense which scale based on the number of banished rocks at the time the monster is summoned. I think this card is worth noting, mostly because of its level, since level 7 is pretty good for Synchro or Xyz plays. Plus it is searchable with Gallant Granite, and since that card is also a rock, could conceivably used to fuel the dragon in some sort of janky combo deck. And then there is the reptile counterpart for Mega Rock Dragon, Evil Dragon Ananta, which is also searchable by a rank 4, this time King of the Feral Imps. Since this card does require banishing all reptiles you control in the field and in the graveyard, you might want to link away the King of Feral Imps before trying to bring out the Evil Dragon. This card does have the marginal benefit of popping a card at the end phase, but 1, it destroys, and 2, it targets. Also, waiting till the end phase is antithetical to the card being used for play extension, but I'm getting pretty distracted right now. There is one more related card that I want to bring up for the video, Spell Striker. This card is a level 3 and banishes a spell from grave to special summon itself from hand. Note that it can be normal summoned and has 2 marginal effects, getting to attack directly and protecting the controller from taking battle damage from attacks involving the card. These effects might be useful, specifically because of end-of-match procedures, but otherwise the use case for this card is best for play extension. Getting a spell engrave is not hard, and most decks will use up a normal, quick play, or even ritual spell in the main phase. I think that the best part of this card is that it is a warrior-type monster, which means it is searchable with Reinforcement of the Army, which happens to be a spell card. The search card fuels the combo extender, which I think makes the card excellent. I like how every attribute has a spirit now, which means that every attribute gets access to at least one of these monsters, and makes them good candidates for play extension in most any type of deck. Also, if your deck is already running Reinforcement of the Army, maybe consider running a copy of Spell Striker as well.